Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where it is a glorious day with the ice pelting down outside.
Oh, it's back to rain by now, I think.
Is it? Okay.
I think.
I went to let the dogs out. It was like, I'm like, oh gosh, there comes the ice. But anyway, just be careful if you're out. But yeah, I think it's supposed to turn to rain really fast. So welcome to the show. We have our good friend John Stabler here, and you are one of those guests that I never know. Yes, there's like 42 hats.
Yes.
So he walks in, I'm like, okay, what's today?
What is it this week? So this week is the Jackson County Land Bank.
Okay, so you're doing your professional hat today.
One of my professional hats.
One of your professional hats, okay. And then you said you'll be back next week to talk about spaghetti and stuff.
Oh, yeah, spaghetti dinner and auction's coming.
I can't believe it's another year already.
I know.
So wild. But we have a lot to talk about today. We'll fill you in on what the land bank's been up to, what it actually is, and some of the progress they're making and what that means for development for our area and maybe for you out there. So I'll tell you what, Adrian says we have a message to play, and then we will be back and talk with John Stabler in just a moment.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
I'm back. We're back. John Stabler's here. We're going to party.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
And by party, I mean talk.
Okay, that works.
But honestly, talking with you is like a party.
Some days we can, as long as we can try to not get off too many tangents, we're good.
Yeah, that's okay. Or we can. It doesn't matter either. Either way. So welcome to the show. You said that you want to talk land bank things today. So first off, tell everyone what's your official title?
So my official title is I work for Jackson County Economic Development Partnership, another long name, but I am the site development coordinator. So one of the things that I do is I do research on properties that we have and how we could best try to tie those into a business or an industry.
Okay.
But one of the things that kind of goes very well with that is the work we do at the land bank, because we are trying to create improved livable neighborhoods.
Yes.
And so by cleaning up some of the old dilapidated houses and apartments and things of that nature that we have throughout the county, it gives us the ability to increase the ability for housing stock. We want to, if you see these houses, a lot of them that might be falling down or in disrepair or have been just not lived in for years, but still may be halfway decent, those are things that we can potentially work with. Right now, the majority of the grant dollars that we have is primarily for tear down. We do have a little bit of acquisition money to purchase some properties.
Okay.
So that we can potentially build at a later date. So
that's amazing. And everybody's working toward a common goal, right?
Yes, we want. Lydia Mahalik, she's the director of the Department of Development. One of the things that she says is residential development is economic development, because if we don't have places for people to live, they're not going to be able to bring those folks in so they can work.
And here's I don't think it's any big secret around our area that we are severely lacking on housing.
Yeah.
Big time.
We actually just did a study in Jackson County, and some of that information we're going to be getting ready to be pushing out. But that information is hopefully going to help give us the ability for some other tools.
Would love that. Yeah,
that is
that would be great.
One of those things that we're going to be pushing, and we are severely lacking. And actually, Jackson County is the only county in our region that has actually seen has seen population growth.
Really?
So we are pushing forward that way. So Jackson County is rising again.
Yes, absolutely, and some of that or a lot of that, I'll give you all credit. Economic development partnership is a huge tool in a lot of that, and you should be proud of yourselves.
Well, and the partnership, I mean, my boss, Sam Brady.
Hi, Sam.
Miss you, Sam. No. But Sam's, I mean, has a desire.
Let's not hit our head anymore, Sam.
Yeah, no falling on the ice.
Stay upright. Yeah.
But it's his, I mean, he has a passion for Jackson County.
He does.
And that is the great thing about our office. It's all locally grown folks. It's everybody from here. So it's not hired guns that are just coming in and here for a short period of time and gone.
To grow their career for somewhere else.
Yes.
Which I think has happened in the past. Anyway.
There's been, that may have happened once or twice, but we've got a great team. And with that desire, it's how do we make everything better? And this is one of those tools where Sam was like, hey, let's work with Land Bank. I mean, we had already been doing some work with Land Bank. Then a couple years ago, we started being a little more involved. And so now we provide their primary services.
So let's back up for a minute and talk about the Land Bank and exactly, how did it get started? What is it exactly? So people know. I'm sure that you all out there have heard the term Land Bank, but maybe you don't know exactly what it is and what it does.
And I think it was either 17 or 18 when they started. And at the time, it was one of the newer, smaller counties that had one. And at that point, I think there were only about 50 across the state. Well, now there are only 2 counties in the state that do not have one. Because it's become...
Everybody can't be wrong. There's a reason to have one.
There's a reason to have one. And other land banks do some stuff a little bit differently than us because when you come to us and you have a property removed, we do not have to take ownership of the property. Now, it's also one of those things if, say, you've had a property that you're tired of dealing with it, tired of trying to the liabilities and things like that, you can also donate to us. So that we can build later.
I think, and before you get all mad and start judging folks for maybe being the owner of a dilapidated property or whatever, a lot of times people get, it's like the gift that they didn't want.
Yeah.
Like they inherit it or, it was a parent's and the parents aren't there anymore and they don't know what to do with it.
Well, and we've had some of these, folks don't even live near here anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it's out of sight, it's out of mind for a lot of folks. And it's like, oh, it's just a little bit in taxes. I'll leave that there. Sometimes they pay for it. Sometimes they don't. And just like with one of the properties that we had, 47 Vine, they called it the Bamboo House. Beautiful.
I remember that.
It is a beautiful corner lot now. Would love to be able to get somebody to own that. However, right now, they can't find an heir. So nothing's been able to be, we're still working that route to hopefully at some point maybe get that property so we can build something there because there's a great opportunity there. That neighborhood is, really cleaning up, has been looking nicer. That being gone has made a huge impact on that neighborhood.
But you have to do things legally, and this is another reason why we should all have our affairs in order when, always we should have our affairs in order.
This person left about 12 years ago, and then they believe she passed away, but nobody can find hide nor hair of
her or
any heirs,
and just walked away from the house.
Yes.
And it's just been kind of crumbling since.
And it had been crumbling. It had been boarded up multiple times by the city of Jackson. They had mowed a few times. Trying to keep it presentable. But even last year, before the last time that we mowed, before we demolished it, the grass and the bamboo was chest high or higher. So it's one of those things that it was hard to get out of the alley because the bamboo was so tall. The neighbors that lived behind weren't able to get there. So
if there's any species in the world that you don't want to let go, it's bamboo.
It's bamboo. It can be a great barrier, but
can be until someone walks away from it for years, and then it's just on.
And it's tough to get rid of. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that the city of Jackson is hoping that we got as much of it as we could last year. But
Which is why it's so great to make sheets and clothing and stuff out of.
yes, because
'Cause they're
it's always
tough.
there. But when we've got properties, and we have worked in 10 of our 12 townships.
Okay.
I try to reach out, or I do reach out to our township trustees. I reach out to everybody in both our cities, Jackson and Wellston, our villages, Colton and Oak Hill, and try to work with the folks there on, hey, what are some other properties that are great that we might be able to work with? Our trustees, people trust their trustees a lot more than they're going to trust me because
Well, they elected
don't know
them
them.
in.
Yeah.
They know them.
And they know
Yeah.
them more personally. It's
Yeah,
a
sure.
smaller neighborhood community. So it's like I try to say, hey, check with this person, or because I've sent letters, I've made phone calls. I try to do a lot of that to get people to say, hey, we have some houses over in the Diamond area that have been burnt down or are sitting there gutted, and we would love to help those families to clear down those hazards, but you reach out to them and then nobody responds.
Well, maybe they're intimidated or they see you as a bad guy or something. I mean, I don't,
Yeah.
but I could see where if you get this
you don't know
rando
me.
letter from a
Yeah.
person that you have no idea who they are, you're going to be like ripping it up and throwing it in the trash.
Yeah,
So.
and that's one of the reasons why I like coming onto the radio
Sure.
and getting out there so people, because I'm not that.
He's a nice guy. Look at this.
I promise I'm not that creep trying to steal your property. So we want to
And
make
I
things
think
like
that's what
and that's the thing
people
is
think
there's
sometimes.
so much spam that's out there. There's so much phishing that's going on out there, and some of it is or actual letters that people are getting. I mean, they're just random things that you get. So.
I mean, I get probably a text a day from somebody that I have no idea who they are, but they act like they know me, wanting to buy property that I
Yeah.
own. And I'm like, and at that point, you just shut down. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to talk to anybody.
Or, hey, your uncle wants to leave you some money. I just need you to get me some information.
Yeah,
Don't buy
Don't
it.
do that.
Don't do that. So,
If it smells like a skunk.
it probably is. But the land bank, so we've been around since 2017, and since then we have remediated over 125 properties total. The 22 grant that we're still, we have some amazing contractors that we've worked with.
Yes.
And they have come in with some bids that are amazing for us compared to other parts of the state. We're killing it.
Well, I think
And-
also though that if everybody can work together and realizes that we're all doing it for the good of,
Yeah.
Even the contractors are like, oh well, I'm gonna tear this property down for a reasonable price
Yes.
so that we can
And
better our community.
The more that they've been able to do, it's given us that opportunity. So
Yeah.
our 22 grant, we were supposed to only do 50. We've already done 74 properties.
Wow.
And I still have $60,000 to use out of that grant. I still have about half of our 25 grant that we had. I've got about 200 and some $1,000 there.
Okay.
And I've got 230,000 out of our 26 grant. So I need at least 40 properties, but with the contractors we have, I think we could probably get closer to 50 or 60 properties that we could help folks clean up. And that's why I've been trying to make a push. We've been doing Facebook posts. We've been doing posts through our office as well, trying to reach out to our trustees again. So if you've got questions, now we don't have it. We're not the CHIP grant, so we can't come in and fix your house up for you right now. So ours is primarily just
but you can
demolition.
you can point people in the right way.
Yeah, but we can, and that's what we actually.
And it's everybody working together, right?
We had done a post about a week and a half ago, and so we got a lot of folks that reached out because they thought we were doing the CHIP work. So that's through
Sure.
the county.
And I
but-
get where that's confusing.
And we've been, yeah. So there's remediation and then there's rehabilitation. So, but right now we're doing primarily remediation. So, but one of the things that we do, and it's also helpful, is we can do commercial and residential, but also we come in, we assess for asbestos, make sure that if there is any, it gets cleaned up properly. So we're not putting asbestos into a landfill
Sure.
where it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that a lot of folks didn't realize. And half of the properties that we do, about have all had asbestos that we've had to remediate. So
Which is not cheap, by the way.
it's one of those things that, oh, I didn't think about that, or oh, that. But even with that, like I said, we've done very well with being able to still extend our.
Speaking of, what are the years where you have to worry about asbestos? I know it was like, there's a time frame there.
What is it, 40s, 50s, up through late 70s, early 80s.
Was it all the way up into the 80s?
Late 70s, I know for sure.
Wow.
And there's some things, like, after I've walked through a number of buildings, commercial side and the land bank side, and talked with different folks, it's like, and working with some great contractors, it's like, oh, so it's kind of neat because now you can walk in and you learn, and sometimes it's not neat because you might be at a place and you sit down and you're like, oh, that's what that is underneath there.
Great.
So, because sometimes you have folks who are like, oh, well, we'll just put stuff on top of it and you won't know.
Yeah.
And we had one house that one of our contractors caught it. There were 4 layers of shingles on this house, or not shingles, siding on this house.
What?
The 4th layer was asbestos, so they had to stop. And we brought in a team.
Wow.
They assessed it. Then we ended up having to remediate all that. But I was in a restaurant the other day. It was an older restaurant. I looked down, and you could see where they had put ceramic tiles on top of these other tiles. And I looked, and I'm like, from the way that sizing is, that was an asbestos tile underneath there. So it's like, okay.
Sometimes you're like, la, la, la,
Yeah,
I don't want to know.
I don't see that, but, and it's one of those things. I mean, unless they're tearing it out or unless it's flaking, it's safe.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times they'll say, if it's covered up, it's one thing. If you're tearing it out, it's a
that's
whole
when it becomes
other,
an issue. Yeah.
Situation.
So, and that was kind of their thought process is like, hey, we'll envelope it and it'll be safe. So, and until it gets torn out, you'll be good.
Sure thing. So let's talk about some of the circumstances where the land bank would step in and, again, you're not out to steal properties, you're out to help people improve properties. And if that means tearing down an old scary outbuilding or whatever, I mean, there's all these different variables.
So we ended up doing, what was now an outbuilding, but once we looked at it, you could see where it had actually been a small apartment. It was about a 450 square foot apartment that was in an outbuilding, or what had been turned into an outbuilding. So the only way that we can tear it down is it has to, 1, be a commercial structure, or 2, there's 3 ways. So 2, or it was a residential structure. Where somebody actually lived in, like a garage that had an apartment in it.
Okay.
Would fall into that what was now an outbuilding that had been a small apartment at one point.
So it fit into
it.
Okay.
Or if you're tearing down a house, but you've also got a barn or other outbuildings that are on that same property, then you can demolish all of those structures as well.
Okay.
So we did one in Colton that was like that. It had 3 small outbuildings on it. So we took the house, the garage, and the 2 outbuildings.
Okay.
We did, there was a couple over in Oak Hill. We did the one business, and there were 3 small cabins that were on that property as well.
Okay.
And we ended up taking all of those out as well. So it's one of those things that.
And again, you're not stealing this from people. You're working with the people to make a marketable lot or place that they can either use or
and so
the land bank could buy, or somebody can buy, or something.
Right. So when we finish, there's a report that shows, hey, there was never any asbestos here. Here's the clean asbestos in it, and here's our asbestos remediation report. Mm-hmm. So when you go to sell it, you can show, hey, this is free and clear. There's no issues here. And then that way it can help that property owner out. And that's what we think is important, is being able to help folks in the community that they're keeping their property and they're able to now take this asset and turn it into something, whether they sell it or whether they say, hey, I'm going to give this to a child or whatever so they can build a house and stay nearby. So we have
They don't make more land.
No,
so
they will never make more land.
Nope.
Well, I guess there's some islands, but we're not in an island, so.
All right, that's just,
Yeah, so there is that one caveat.
There is.
But it's one of those things. Now, sometimes we have some things that a little tougher to work through with Phil and things like that. This winter was really tough with some of the weather that we had, trying to
Boy,
get projects
has it been.
done. So trying to still have a couple properties we're trying to work through to alleviate those issues there.
But here's the thing, if you are watching this, or someone and you do they have a property that they, I think sometimes, and you're right, like if you live out of state or something and you like out of sight, out of mind, or you just throw your hands up because you don't know what the heck to do with it. And I don't have the money to tear it down and, whatever. That's exactly why you should reach out to you guys.
It's really one of those help us, help you things.
Yeah.
If you know neighbors, if you know friends that are out of town, give them our information. We got a gentleman, he lives in Colorado, but the family has property here that they're trying to clean up so that they can market it and sell it. So that, they reached out, and everything was completely electronic. You can go to our website, and you can fill out the form.
Okay.
And just get it notarized. Or if you are in town, you can bring it into us. One of the two of us that are notaries in our office will notarize it for you and
Sure.
get it taken care of.
What is the website?
So it's, let me make sure I do this right. Jackson's COOH, Jackson County, there we go, OHlandbank.org.
Okay.
But the other thing is this, we have crushed it with our online marketing. If you do a Google search for Jackson County, Ohio, or Jackson County Land Bank, we are still the first one in the country that pops up.
That's awesome. Because there's a lot of Jackson counties out there.
Yes, we've had calls from Michigan, we've had calls from Missouri, from West Virginia, because we're the ones that are popping up because we're posting we're posting the images of what we're cleaning up, and it's getting great reactions on Facebook, but also in Google reviews. So it's like I've been very excited about that because
you're doing all the things.
we're seeing we've had a couple of our pictures that have had several thousand views.
Whoa.
And for tearing down a house, that's kind of a cool thing. So
It is. So let's talk about some of your favorite projects that this is created or I guess completed.
So one that had, I guess, a little bit of heartstrings to it was the old Mike's Dairy Freeze in Wellston there
Sure.
at 93 and 349 Lake Elmer
By
Road.
the PDQ.
Right next to Wellston PDQ. We were able to work with the new property owner there, and they've got a future development coming there that is going to be huge. So we were able to work and take down this thing that had been an icon, but now it's going to have a new icon that's going to be built there, and it's exciting to see where this is going to come.
Is that the same owners as the PDQ?
Yes.
Okay.
Same owners that have the PDQ now.
So they had that whole
They
little area
have that
there.
whole piece there.
What a wonderful lot.
So it's going to be a big deal. They've been able to work with the city and on the bike path there as well. So helping to have some improvements there. So that was probably one that's been pretty big. We've got, well, there are just so many. We had Vine Street. We've had a couple on Vine that we've done, and just how that has improved that whole section of Vine Street, and just something that has been such an eyesore. And we've had some that have been around since the 60s. We had one house that, it was built in 86. So it wasn't nearly as old, but just didn't have the TLC and was had become a
kind of like the area
nuisance.
time forgot or something.
Yeah,
like
and it just so. But now seeing what's going on there and how these things have improved. So up in Wellston, we've had several that we've done. We've had there up near Bundy School on Wisconsin Avenue. We had some old dilapidated trailers. We actually now have several parcels that are available in there, so for people to rebuild. That's actually where we're hoping to build one of our Welcome Home Ohio sites, is on one of our Wisconsin Avenue sites over on Kaufman We've got one that we're going to try to build there. With Wellston and Jackson both have in their zoning code minimum ground floor requirements.
Yeah,
that
because I got a bright
sometimes can be
idea to do
problematic.
something and it didn't work out because of and I get it.
But one of the things, we are in an older community, so some of our lots are very narrow.
Yes.
So they're working with the Ohio Land Bank Association, and then I believe it's Morpsey in the Columbus area. They have come up with a guidebook that has pre-approved design plans for infill housing, that it's not necessarily the 850 square
A
feet requirement.
traditional lot, if you would.
But it actually will allow you to build something that looks gorgeous on that lot that'll still fit nice. Usually they're
That's amazing.
2-story houses,
Yeah.
but it's something that you're not just going to have to waste a lot and just leave it set there. And that's one of the things I'm hoping to be able to. I've made a request to speak with Jackson's Planning Commission, going to do the same with Wellston and Oak Hill, to see, hey, if we have these and it's one of these pre-approved plans, is that something that you're willing to grant a variance on?
Well, I would have to think so, considering this goes back to our lack of housing here in this area, and and having some rental properties. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't have 1 or 2 people reach out because they're looking for a place to rent.
Yeah.
And there is such a need. So even if it's somebody building their home, I mean, building a new home, that's somebody that has housing. That,
Yes.
So this is all win-win for everybody.
Well, I mean, and we've got some folks that own properties that do rentals, and if they have the ability to put more in,
Yes.
I mean, and a lot of our younger generation are looking for smaller houses where they don't have to maintain as much.
And they aren't as much into the white picket fence and home ownership as they are renting and, living more with experiences and whatever. And I mean, that's actually a really good mindset.
Yeah.
By the time we get done paying for the white picket fence, we're too old to enjoy the experiences. So I think it's kind of a cool mindset, really. But I feel like, yes, it might be better to have several smaller properties than have one ginormous property.
So if I've got a street that we have 20 parcels on it, but I've got 7 open vacant lots that nothing's going on with, is it better for the community and the county to just have them vacant lots? Or does it help the tax base? Does it help the community and the property values by actually having a small infill house put there that still has that same value?
That's amazing.
And, it's one of those things that in the long run can be win-win, because you're going to have better property values. You've got more tax coming in. You've got places for people to live where they're actually able to come here and help with city income tax and things of that nature.
All of this goes full circle.
If the school income tax passes, I mean, it will help with that as well. So how else does that work? And we've got to look at that bigger picture. And we are when we look at everything that's going on economic development wise, with new core steel, with the Honda battery plant, with a lot of the stuff going on with Intel and other places, we are in a sweet spot when it comes to that 30 to 180 minute drive, because right now we are number 5 in the state for people that travel 90 or more minutes from their home here in Jackson County to their work.
But and I think a lot of that is not necessarily out of need. I think it's out of choice. And I have a friend who's a pretty well-established realtor in Columbus, and she was telling me, with Intel and all of this stuff, she's been in some meetings, and, people, those are very, very good jobs, but people don't necessarily want to live in the big city.
Yeah.
So they don't mind having that really well-paying job, but then driving an hour
That way they
home
can
so
get
that they
away
can
from it.
relax.
Yes.
Yes, so that they can chill out and whatever. And she and I have talked about that a lot in, economic development down, like even where we live, of people investing into different businesses and things like that, because it all does trickle down.
Yeah. Well, Nucor, one of the things that
What is that?
Nucor is the steel plant that's just over the Ohio River it's just across from Gallipolis.
Okay, okay.
It's a new multi-billion-dollar investment.
Wow, okay.
Going to be creating a lot of jobs. Nucor, Jackson is one of the locations that they are telling people, hey, you're right here, right off of 35.
Yep,
It's
super
a quick-
easy drive.
It's a quick shot. You can get there. And actually, during construction, coming from Jackson that direction, because I had to go to an appointment in Ashland, so I came down and went around and went past the site. Coming our direction is easier traffic than coming the Ashland direction.
Oh, I'll bet.
There was traffic almost a mile plus long that I went past when they were coming
You're
into
like,
work. It's
I'm moving, you're not.
I'm going the other direction. But that's one of those things with the things going on at the A-plant site in Piketon. I mean, you've got two companies that have had major announcements all within the last 6 months, and it is one of those. They're both one of those things that have long-term viability. And Jackson, we are in that 20-mile radius
Yes,
from
for sure.
from that site.
Again, super easy drive.
Super easy drive. So it's one of those things. How do we make this happen? How do
In
we
fact,
make it
too
work?
easy. It's a little boring, but
So, no, you got to dodge the deer. So
that
So,
don't even get me
we're
started
in
on
it,
that.
but with the land bank, it gives us that ability to clean up some sites, make property more valuable for a sale.
Yeah.
And it's going to take working together with our county, with our communities to make it work better.
Well, and I think, you said you had a meetings set up with some of the city administrations and things like that, but you take some of the areas, like drive around Columbus, just go to Italian Village or somewhere like that, and you're looking at these homes that are popping up everywhere, but somebody's thinking outside the box on this stuff, because the lots are narrow. A lot of these homes being built are shotgun, 2-story or 3-story. You can go up.
Yeah,
It's
just can't go out. So use that space.
So you have to use this space, and a lot of it's being, they're close to each other, whatever. But I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that if that's what you want, cool. You just have to be creative with it, and as long as everybody's working together for the better good, I don't know why we couldn't give some variances and things like that.
Well, and even when you look at their manual, that's one of the things, the images that they're showing you, what it's going to look like. They're showing some of these that have been put into other
And they're
neighborhoods.
attractive.
And it
They're
looks
just
nice.
different.
Yeah. And it keeps the surrounding property values higher. It's like I said, they're definitely not tiny homes. It's not one of those.
Right.
So it's not just the thing you drive in and toss in that is the garage that was at the Mennonite market or Amish market or whatever. I mean, they're stick-built homes.
Yes.
So I know there was a lot of fear, there's a lot of concern, but if we can do something where it's one of these that they're already pre-engineered, it's already drawings that have been certified.
Well, how nice is that as a home, buyer too? That it's professionally done. You don't have to worry about the plans.
Yeah.
Pick from these.
Yeah.
Like that makes it so easy.
And there were, what was it? I think 28 to 30 in the manual that they put out.
There you go. So it's
gives us all kinds of options. They got all kinds of variations. They've even got them set up where you can have what they call the mother-in-law suite at the back of it. So you can have the front entrance can be the one access to the 2-story house, and then you can go and you can have the mother-in-law suite in the back.
and that's something that's very lacking in this area too. And that's overnight lodging. Like y'all don't know how many travelers we have going through this area, and there is a need for lodging, whether it be Airbnb or short-term rentals or some semblance of that. something like that would be perfect for that, and it can help you pay your payment, right?
Yes, helps to
You know,
helps to
it's
pay that
win-win for
mortgage.
everybody. Once again, somebody traveling through our area, they can stay in a very, very nice Airbnb or whatever and move on about their day, have all the luxuries, and hopefully be walkable to the downtown area. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got corporations here in Jackson County that, I mean, they bring people in for a month or 2 months at a
the
time.
time.
And it's all the time, it's constant. And we've got, with our project that's going on with Sun Energy One, they're bringing in people that are going to be here for the next 3 years. And they're looking for places that they're going to be able to stay.
Nice places,
and
yeah.
because it's going to be their home.
Yeah.
And you've got some folks, from the way they're talking, this is going to be this is where they're going to live now, because they're working to make this their westernmost headquarters, so they can keep expanding. So Jackson County has done a lot to make sure that they are an important asset for economic development around this part of the state, and we are definitely punching above our weight. And the land bank is one of those things that has helped make that happen.
So that brings me to my next question. So say someone's saying, hey, this is awesome. Do you all have properties for sale that have already been,
We do have some
cleaned and
yes.
are ready to go if you want to build one of these homes or a home or something?
dozen, I think, that are buildable right now. We also
That's quite a bit, though.
we also have, because we got a total of like 40, but a lot of those are in the floodplain. So we're working with our communities to see if, hey, is this something that you want to create a green space with instead? So we're also trying to work that side of it as well, because we've got probably 12 of them that are over on Jackson's west side. Literally has the creek running right through them, and
hey, it's waterfront property. It's fine. It should be worth more.
Just build a house on stilts, and you'll be fine.
Listen, again, I'm thinking outside the box here.
But so I mean, in some of those you're allowed to build, but you have to make sure that you're building above that floodplain. So there are a few that we have that are tricky.
Yeah.
But we have I believe it's 10 or 12 that you could build a house on right now.
Okay.
And
see,
so
there you go.
it's one of those things that we've got. They're sitting out there listed for sale, and all you have to do is you can put a bid in on it. There's on the website on our forms page. There is a form that you can submit for a bid on one of our properties, or you can send an email to Jackson CO Land Bank at gmail.com. And you can put a bid in for whatever parcel number it is that you would like.
See, that's awesome. And so there are properties cleaned up, ready to go. You don't have to do anything.
Ready to roll, and several of them, already have their water and sewer taps.
Yeah.
So they're already there, because
And that's saving you some serious money, by the way.
When we demolish a property, if it's got a water or a sewer tap, we make sure those are preserved, because that is a significant expense.
Big deal.
Yep.
Big deal. Okay, well, that is amazing. All you have to do is reach out to the land bank, or just call the economic development office, and they can get you in the right direction.
Yes, we will get you there. 740-286-2838. You can email the land bank. My economic development email is john.stabler@jacksoncountyohio.com. So
That's easy to remember. Are there any other things that you wanted to, maybe future projects coming up that you wanted to give us a little hint about? I always try to get something out of you guys.
Well, we're working on these demos, and so there is lots of good things that we are working towards and trying to land lots of projects. So we'll see how it goes. We have the potential for a phenomenal year for Jackson County.
You heard it here
I
first.
just leave that hook sitting there.
Yep. Drop the mic. Love it. John, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you so much. And you'll be back maybe next week to talk all things spaghetti.
Yes, hopefully we'll be
Woohoo!
here next week. We'll get that figured out. And the Boy Scout spaghetti dinner and auction. We just had our Cub Scout chicken noodle dinner and cake auction on Saturday. This is definitely a busy scouting time of year.
Yes, and that's another hat you wear.
Yes, that's, yeah, 2 other hats though.
Love that.
So-
Well, thank you for all you do. We do appreciate you, and thank you for spending your morning with us.
Thanks for
We
allowing me to be
greatly
here.
appreciate it. All right, well, we have another message, and Pete Wilson is waiting in the wings, so we're going to do that, and we'll be right back.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are back with Pete Wilson and the news.
All right.
And I've been out of the loop, so you're going to have to fill me in on all this.
Okay. Well, we had a potentially scary situation on Friday night in Jackson.
Okay.
As it turned out, you could categorize it as a minor fire, but it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, no.
If it hadn't been for some positive things that unfolded when this fire occurred. Holly Hills Apartments over off Morton Street. Holly Hills Drive is the access road in there. As you can see, the apartment building there, you can see all the fire trucks lined up. Jeremiah Shaver took this picture for us about 10:13 p.m. on Friday night.
Oh,
or
my.
actually, it was a little later than that. That was when the call came. But anyway, what had happened there in the utility room, in the laundry room, where there is the washers and dryers, one of the dryers had caught fire. It wasn't just
my.
hot. It wasn't just smoking or overheated. There was a fire.
There were flames. Okay.
Right, exactly. Somebody there had called that in, and they were very quick to do it, knowing you needed the fire department. Don't try to take that on yourself. So that was the first positive thing. The second positive thing was that the Jackson police were monitoring. They didn't have to go to the fire station to get the truck or anything, so they actually got there first. And one or both of the police officers put the fire out basically with a fire extinguisher.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, the fire department, they arrived 5 minutes after the call. So that's pretty quick,
That's pretty
from,
fast.
from the fire station. So they were just right on the heels of the police department. Well, they made sure the fire was out, hosed down the hot spots. And as it turned out, other than the dryer and just a small section of the nearby wall, that limited that was the limit to the damage. There was an evacuation of the building there.
I'll bet.
A lot of people involved in there, and I was told that went very orderly as well, with the emergency personnel, knocking on the doors, evacuating people, and like that.
That's scary.
As it turned out, as I said, minor damage. One elderly resident was treated for smoke inhalation by the Jackson County EMS. 2 police officers who were among the first to go in, they were also treated for smoke inhalation. Nothing serious. They weren't taken to the emergency room or anything, but they were treated there for the smoke inhalation.
Okay.
So,
Oof.
so that was Jackson Fire Chief Kyle Hickey. I talked to him on Saturday, and he really felt it really could have been worse. But quick call, quick response, effective action.
That's great.
There, and as we said, no serious injuries involved at all. The fire department also had a couple other calls on Saturday. First of all, there was some training that went on early in the day, which was not a call, but they're still out there working. Then there was a grass or brush fire down on Webb Pierce Road in the afternoon, burnt about half an acre, almost got to a barn. And in that barn, there was hay. And what would have happened if it would have got in the barn? A little bit of damage, I'm told, to the garage door. That's where the fire got to. But they kept it, they saved the barn, and they saved it going into the woods where it would have been a lot tougher to
Yes.
put out. And not too long after they were out there on Saturday afternoon, there was a wreck out on U.S. Route 35 in Pattinsville Road, just outside the city limits here in Jackson. Not a big deal, but they were out working again, helping clean up that fuel spill. So all that occurred in about a 12 to 18 hour
They were
period for our
busy.
fire department. January and February, the Jackson Fire Department has had 74 calls. So let's see here, 28 days in February, 31 in January. So you're talking about more than a call a day for a volunteer fire department.
That's a lot.
You know, you have a couple people drawing a part-time wage on the officer side, but then you have volunteers. You know, they get payout call and per hour, but it's token. And so, you know, we really need to be aware of their contribution. But that story, by the way, is already online on the telegramnews.com, and of course will be featured in our next print edition, which comes out Wednesday, of course. Okay, we will turn to sports. What a big night for the Wellston Golden Rockets tonight. They will be playing at the Ohio University Convocation Center.
Fun.
There are the Rockets. They've had a turnaround season. Standing there on the back row on the right side, that is Coach Joe Briggs. He and his team have fashioned an 18-4 record, of course, tied for the TVC Ohio title. They won their first tournament game over Scioto Northwest tonight, 6:15 p.m. at the Convo. The Rockets will put it all on the line again as they play the top-seeded Chesapeake Panthers. Top-seeded means that in the power rankings, Chesapeake was ranked as the top team in Division V in all of Southeastern Ohio. So the Wellston will be the underdog, but my guess is they've been thought of being the underdog in some of the other games this year, and you see what their record is, 18-4. So certainly good luck to the Rockets. They'll be taking a pep bus with students in it from Wellston High School. They hope to get a caravan going there late in the afternoon on the way to Athens. And, you know, big thanks to the Darrow family. Of course, that is, you know, the family, that's basketball royalty in Jackson, or in Wellston.
In Wellston, for
Jim Darrow, of course, the late Jim Darrow, the winningest coach in Wellston High School history. His father, John Darrow Sr., also a very successful coach before him. And John Darrow, who's now in the insurance business, John Darrow Jr., he coached for a little bit while too. And I think he was the one who kind of set this up and had the Darrow family sponsor the tickets. They're actually free tickets for the kids riding on the pep bus. There was a certain limit to it. So, I'm guessing that they probably ran out of tickets. I don't know that for a fact. But they were going to actually pay for the tickets for the kids to get in over there at the Convo. And this is it's just not the money, it's just the convenience because having been over there, the Ohio University Convocation Center is cashless. You don't even pay for your parking with cash. You've got to give them a credit card. And some people may not realize that. Of course, tournament tickets now are online, and, you know, some people are not used to doing that. So, you know, all this was taken care of by the Darrow family as far as
That's
the tickets
very
goes.
sweet.
And, you know, once you get over there, the bus will take care of the parking. But if you're going over as a fan, you know, you better have a credit card ready there. They will not
Okay,
take
it's
your
good to know.
$5. They will not take your $5 bill. It's no good there.
Okay.
And also, you know, when you go up to get your overpriced popcorn and pop, cashless as well.
Oh,
The way of the world.
it is.
Okay, unfortunately, we have to report that the Jackson Ironmen were eliminated from the tournament last Friday night
Bummer.
against the Chillicothe Cavaliers. We knew that this would be a tough game. They had split during the regular season. That is Ryan Simons there in the white, number 4 for Jackson, one of Jackson's 5 senior starters who played their last game as Ironman basketball players. That is one of the Cavalier players. Caden Cox is his name. As you can see, he's taller than Ryan, even though Ryan's jumping up there. That was one of the problems. The Cavaliers were they were younger, but they were taller.
Okay.
And long arms, you know, makes it harder to make shots.
That wingspan makes it
Right,
rough. Yeah.
right. So Jackson scores only 38 points, held Chillicothe to 49, And the game ended up 11-point difference, but it was closer than that most of the way. But Chillicothe, does what they need to do to win at the end. So the Jackson Ironmen finished the season 20-4. Pretty good, right?
Very good.
The 20 wins is the most wins by a Jackson Ironman boys basketball team in history. Ties two other teams, the 2019-20 team and the 1961-62 team. So Jackson out of the tournament, and they finish a storybook season. And the
Proud of you guys.
right, the sidebar to it is Jackson was powered by 5 senior starters who have pretty much started almost 3 years, certainly been with the program for 4 years. Bodie Wooford, Ryan Simons, Stephen Jenkins, Charlie Woodard, and the other one would be Stephen Jenkins, Charlie Woodard, Bodie Wooford,
Ryan, and then
Stephen Jenkins, Charlie Woodard, Ryan Simons, Stephen Jenkins, and Jax Carroll.
Okay.
So those were the 5 starters. All right, so congratulations to them. Tonight's game, by the way, is on the radio, and it's being live streamed as well. 105.3 FM, that's the Rocket station. Broadcasters will be there. Also, 1330 YPC AM. It'll be on both of those stations. And we are happy to report, and we misreported this before because we got bad information. The Total Media Group will be over there streaming it on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel.
Okay.
We were told that Ohio University would not allow a live broadcast. In other words, we could video it, but it would have to be posted after the fact.
Oh,
They are allowing it live now.
okay.
So the Jackson game actually turned out to be live. We didn't think it would be. But the Wellston game will be live tonight, so that's another way that you can watch and hear the game. And of course, it will be
That's
posted.
awesome.
It will be posted after the fact.
Then you
as-
don't have to take your credit card
as
and
well.
drive to Athens.
No, you wouldn't necessarily have to do that. Although I know
It would be
that-
fun, though.
That the Rocket fans would appreciate all the support, and I'm
For sure.
pretty sure they're going to get it because it's been 14 years since they've been to the Convo. And that's not too far to go through Wellston,
That's right.
upstate Route 32. All right, speaking of Wellston, good news to report if you're one of those folks in Wellston who is nostalgic about the history of the Louvie Theater and the potential for its
Okay.
rebirth.
Yeah.
That is the Louvie Theater down on Ohio Avenue in the historic district of Wellston. The city of Wellston got a $1.5 million grant through the state. However, it called for a local grant. This was money that for a while they didn't have because you're talking about a lot of money. It's a 25% grant on $1.5 million. And a lot of cities, small cities, don't have that kind of money laying around for something like that, even though
No.
they would like to be able to use the grant. At a recent Wellston City Council meeting, this story was on the front page of the Telegram on Saturday, Mayor Anthony Brenner asked for council's support, and he got it, to make a commitment on paper, a resolution passed unanimously, that Wellston later on would pay $122,000, $123,000, whatever the match was needed cash-wise, to make that project go forward. Because they don't have to pay it right now, and he's hoping that if they can get the engineering and the planning done, move ahead with that, they might be able to get another grant or two to meet the local match.
Oh,
They've
okay.
already been given credit for some certain in-kind things they're doing. The value of the building, some demolition money they got to tear it down when they decided not to do it. They still have it. And some other improvements that's taking place in downtown Wellston. They were even allowed to use the Old Pants Factory parking lot as in-kind because that's where they're going to have event parking if the
Okay.
Louvie goes forward. And
Gotcha.
the Louvie, the vision for the Louvie right now, if they're able to do it, and there's a long way to go. We're not saying it's going to happen, but they want to be able to use this $1.5 million grant to do some basic repair and renovation on the Louvie.
Like put a roof on it?
Right.
Would be the first?
Put a roof on it and a bunch of other things. Supposedly, the superstructure is supposed to be solid,
Yeah.
although there isn't a roof. But that's what the $1.5 million would go for. They would make some, some basic improvements to the structure of the Lou V. But the vision for the Lou V is as an event center. Lots of different things can happen in there. So not a performing arts center or anything like the Marquee is, but the next best thing, an event center. So that's the vision. And it was kind of stalled because they just did not have this match money and they couldn't come up with a grant to cover the match money. So this is what they've done. Mayor Brenner made it very clear, we're not going to pay this right now, but we're going to say we'll pay it if we have to on down the line. But if they get that commitment on paper that they will pay it if they have to, then they can move ahead with some of the engineering and the planning and like that. As far as now, where would they get the money later on that they don't seem to have now and they haven't had for a year? Well, they've got some CDs that are coming due later on, and they will tap into those. Apparently $5 million worth of CDs that they can use if they have to.
Gotcha.
They hope they won't have to. Okay, all right, let's see, what else can we tell you about? At the most recent Vinton County Board of Education meeting, they honored a local fraternal group that's been very supportive of the schools, and they honored a South Elementary teacher who received a regional award. The South Elementary teacher is Jane Snyder. There she is. Jane is on the right. She is being presented a certificate there on the left by a Board of Education Vice President, Mary Ann Helen. Standing behind on the right is Board President Cindy Strasbaugh. Jane Snyder is a teacher at South Elementary School. She was recently named the Elementary Teacher of the Year for Vinton County by the Coalition of Rural and Appalachian Schools. They do regional awards to different staff members in the districts, and Jane Snyder won the award for Vinton County. So obviously, she is well thought of in the district there. Also, at this same meeting, the school board honored the MacArthur Eagles Lodge. The Eagles Lodge, there are some of the Eagles members there along with board members. They received a certificate and public thanks. The Eagles Lodge, I understand, has been tremendous supporters of the schools and the different projects and events they've had that require some community support. One of the things that they've done for a long time is help sponsor the trip of the kids to Washington, D.C. late in the year. They have continued to do that. And so the MacArthur Eagles honored there as well. All right, this evening there will be another meeting of the Kids First Committee, which is the community group that is supporting the earned income tax levy on the ballot in the May primary election for the Jackson City Schools. Kids First is the committee for Jackson Public Schools. It has been meeting, this will be the third meeting, I think. The public is welcome to come. They are tremendously well organized with subcommittees and everything to do all sorts of things to promote the need and awareness for this earned income tax. They feel that there's lots of negative impacts that will happen. It'll be far more than just not, if you vote no, there will be far more impacts than just not having to pay an extra income tax if you're employed within the Jackson City School District. There will be things the school district can no longer do that maybe you've taken for granted, like being able to participate in sports without a pay-to-play payment. The food program, of course, which is big. The breakfast and lunch program, which has been free, cannot be anymore, So 5:30 at the, let me make sure I'm right on that. The meeting will be 5:30 p.m. at the Potter Room at the Jackson City Library tonight. And you don't have to be on the committee to go if you're an interested member of the public and you want to learn more.
Find out info.
The folks that are there, that are on the committee and are leading these subcommittees, they've already done a lot of research and work. They care very much about the school district and our kids being able to have everything that you would want our kids to have.
Makes sense.
All right, February is gone, but Holzer Health System representatives visited the Jackson County Commissioners at a recent meeting to declare February as Heart Month. And even though it's March the 1st,
That makes sense.
heart health is still important, so we're going to talk about it today. There are the commissioners with some of the representatives of Holzer Health System here in Jackson. And heart disease is still the #1 cause of death in America, accounting for 1 in every 5 deaths. And, you know, genetics always plays a role in disease often. But in the case of heart disease, a lot of that happens because of our habits. You know,
For sure.
What we eat and lack of exercise and allowing obesity to happen when maybe, you know, you have a chance to slim down a little bit and get a little exercise. Heart Month proclaimed, and everybody is wearing red because red is the symbol for Heart Month.
Makes sense. Yep.
Commissioner Paul Haller was not there, but Donnie Willis is in the middle there in the red golf shirt, and John Hensler there on the end in that very impressive red blazer and tie. All right, I believe that's going to be it for what I have to tell you, except I do want to say one more thing. The Sons of the American Legion in Wellston is already making plans, spending a lot of money to put on their big Easter egg hunt. It is
And it is a big one.
It's a biggie. It's going to be the Saturday before Easter. That is Saturday, April the 4th. 12,000 stuffed eggs, and in addition to that, they give away bicycles and other things. There is a huge undertaking, and of course, they need the community's support on that. So, donations can be made to the Sons of the American Legion. If you do that by mail, earmark it as Easter egg hunt so the Legion or that group knows what the money is for. You can also call Jim Pope for information. That number is 740-441-7135. Donations are tax deductible. The Sons of the American Legion are a 501(c) group. So 2 things we want to tell you about there. The egg hunt, yes, it will take place as always out there at the State Route 327 fields there, the ball fields. Hundreds of kids will be there, I know, because I'm usually there covering it. But remember, they can't do it without a lot of community contributions, and they don't take them for granted, but they've always had them. But so if you haven't given yet, go ahead and make that donation to the Sons of the American Legion for their big Easter egg hunt.
You got it.
All right, so there you are.
All right. Well, thank you, Pete. Much appreciated. And we appreciate you all for tuning in. Also, John Stabler for stopping by. He's always fun to talk to. So there was some rain or some icy stuff out there, but are y'all ready for this? It's going to be 80 by the weekend.
I guess we won't have to worry about the snow that's sticking out there right now, will we?
Ohio's a little bipolar this time of the year.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm sure we
is.
may have snow some other time before we're done.
For sure. Absolutely. So just go with it, and we will see you right back here in the morning. So be careful out there, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.